they're going to take the new kid from Boston, the big guy.
My name is Sean Hadlock, a lieutenant of Gray Engine 41. Our responsibility is to advance hose and put the fire out. We'll let them know on the portion we're going in with a crew of 3 or a crew of 4, and where we're headed, we're going up to the 2nd floor, which we're company 4. Yep. So it's entirely up to you guys. I mean, and remember, if you start making your way and just advance, you don't start bringing the hose in with you. It's going to be real tough. Now that hose, I mean, you've been working on it a lot. So as much of that hose you can get in to the door, the better, because it's going to make the job easier. My crew to where we're going to be making entry and make an entry to the house and find the fire and put it out. Want to get as much on as we can to the door. That nozzle's going to go in. We're going to let the second guy in the line know. The second guy's going to let the third guy know which way you're going. Find the stairs. Say, okay, I'm at the stairs. That's a signal before he starts marching up there. Got some hose in there. All right.
All right, I'm upstairs. I'm upstairs. Give me some hose. Give me some hose! Alright, come upstairs! Come upstairs! All right, right in! You guys have enough hose in there?
Imaging camera, what are you getting into? Do you need 4 to search it? Yep, get right here with me.
What made you decide to become a firefighter?
When I was a young kid, my house was on fire, and so I was amazed at the firemen that came to help my family out. So it's just something I always wanted to do when I was a kid.
How long have you been with Gray?
I started when I was 16, so over 20 years now. I do this the rest of my life.
Dodd, Lieutenant, Gray Truck 1. As Lieutenant, I'm responsible for the truck and its company, specifically the safety of the members of that company. First arrive on scene, we're going to form our own size up. We're given information from dispatch or from other companies that have reached the incident before we have. We're going to do our own size up of what we're working with and anything that might have been left out, any pertinent information that we need to know to do our job safely. Once that's been assessed, we're going to take orders, and depending on if we're given orders or if we need to take action ourselves, we're going to move on to the next logical step of whether it's fire attack or ventilation. We can work either horizontally or vertically to ventilate your hot and troublesome gases, those that create an environment that is dangerous to life and health. We can go through the roof. With the truck company, we have a vast assortment of ground ladders as well as the aerial device in the truck. We can work from the rooftop and cut a hole in the roof, followed by the ceiling, and get the hot gases that are trapped in the building out. Make it safer for the interior crews to work. The truck company is tasked with forcible entry, so there's prying and striking tools of many types, hand tools. There are 3 types of saws on this rig, all for cutting different types of materials, that which we see in our jurisdiction. I guess hazards, they come from all directions. Hazards could be overhead, underneath, next to you. Could be just the extreme heat and smoke and gas that's in a burning building.
Captain Nick Hutchins. I'm in charge of all the apparatus at Central Station. 2 rescues, a tank truck, a heavy rescue, and a ladder, and a first response engine. I show up on scene as the captain of Central. My first responsibility is to make sure every truck at Central rolls with the correct manpower and the correctly trained manpower for each truck. Once I'm on scene, I get put in an operations role, whether that's structural fire attack or working extrication, removing a victim from a car, or hazmat situations. I'm on the tech team as a crew leader, and basically any place where my management of people skills comes in to be a necessity. Typical structural fire attack. Once I've secured the ladder to the roof to make sure we can vent either horizontally or vertically, my role would be operations either internally or externally depending on our mode of attack. It can be managing anyone from 5 to 7 people or multiple crews, upwards of 4 to 5. Everything from overhaul to fire attack to search and rescue operations. I look forward to the future of Gray. We're a growing community, which is going to bring some growing pains by both community members as well as inside the department. But we've got a great outlook in this community, both as a resident and as a fireman, and I anticipate a lot of good coming from Gray Fire Rescue for our community and for our department.
My name is Mike Bottom. I'm the Deputy Chief of EMS. I'm a paramedic firefighter in the town of Gray. Responsibilities are to respond to EMS and fire calls in the daytime hours, and also to manage the EMS program in Gray. One of our biggest concerns is our safety and the other EMS and firefighter providers in the scene. We want to make sure that they're going to be safe. We're concerned with short-term and long-term types of injuries. The short-term things would be trips, falls, cuts, that type of thing, and exposures to different types of smokes, chemicals, that type of thing. Long term, we take a very hard look at cancer and what causes cancer in firefighters. So we're constantly washing our gear and educating our folks as to the dangers of firefighting cancer and EMS cancer. Then we attend to the patient and we assess the patient. We decide on what's the appropriate action for the patient and transport them to one of 4 hospitals in the area. As a firefighter, I wear full protective gear as any firefighter would, with a Nomex type of jacket that has a quilted lining inside and also a vapor barrier inside to help me be protected from heat and flames and also body fluids. We wear gloves on every call for every patient. We wear a nitrile type of hand glove. We also keep masks in our pockets, so if we have a patient that has a respiratory type of illness, we can protect ourselves so we're not inhaling anything that we could be subjected to. We also wear eye protection, and we are very cautious when we start IVs and give medication that we don't accidentally stick ourselves with the needles that we use.
Any thoughts on the future?
We are constantly evolving. We have come a long way. The equipment that we carry on board now is like a small emergency room in the back of the ambulance. We do our emergency care at 70 miles an hour. We start IVs, give medications, and all these things on our way to any of the hospitals that we deliver patients to.
What do you think your best memory is thus far?
Best memory.
Just helping out the folks in the town, just responding, answering the call. We've actually saved lives. Saved a 13-year-old girl's life just a few months ago.
Well, the camaraderie, a lot of the events, have formed relationships with some of my closest friends here.
I've been doing this for almost 40 years, and I have a lot of good memories and a lot of sad memories, unfortunately. The most recent one was a 13-year-old young lady who had gone into cardiac arrest at her house. Her mother was doing CPR when we arrived. We were able to defibrillate her, deliver her to the hospital, and she has a full recovery. That's the most recent one.
Probably the best memories I have is actually when people come back to thank us. Obviously, looking at my stature, I don't miss too many meals, so the free food's excellent. But just to be able to shake the hands of someone that we helped and to see them alive and well and saying thank you has got to be the best memory. It's the whole point in doing the job.
These are people in rehab.
Yeah.